Welcome, everyone, to San Antonio by Night, Season 2, Episode 18. Live from San Antonio now that I have moved. With the untimely demise of Baron Delgado, the domain has been busy. The constituents of Baron Delgado's domain have to decide what it is that they're going to do with that empty seat, if they're going to join one of the other barons, remain independent and solitary on their own, or join collectively under a new baron in the domain. With preparations to perhaps claim the barony, Urien is busy this night. So instead we'll be following the goings-on of Velda and John. Velda, why don't you give us some of your thoughts regarding what's been going on lately and what more you intend to do now that these shoes of barony are empty.
My thoughts. There's a lot of thoughts currently happening. A lot of catching up, actually. Finding out that Delgado was my grandsire was a shock and a half. But it gave me an in. I don't think Asher really intended to give me such an in, but he did. And while he's off talking to Batista and everybody else around and spreading a little bit of gossip, who knows? But hopefully things go according to plan, although they never really do. I'm just waiting for shit to hit the fan further.
Funny thing about plans, we'll see, they don't often survive when you include people in the mix.
That's exactly right.
John, you've come across this recent news since you've been doing a little bit of your own thing for the past couple of nights. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'd end up saying, tells me that there's issues going on in the city. Nothing new. You know, you thought you escaped Chicago and come on down a little further south. Things might be different. And I ran into this shitfest. Didn't work out too well. So, sad truth is now I'm stuck in this. Might have to end up talking about jumping his ship, but who knows? Maybe somebody will give me a reason to stay.
I shall definitely see. The idea of jumping ship might be appealing to those who don't necessarily have a lot of protection to their name. Individuals who have maybe come to this city on their own maybe don't have the luxury of staying on their own. But I would like both of you to roll me rouse checks as we start a new night. Velda, that beast is starting to itch. The bottom of your gut twitches and groans. like it has a mind of its own, that it wants to jump out of your gut and eat the next thing that you see whole.
Looks like I might have to pay a visit to the club tonight.
Certainly looks like it. John, thankfully, yours is not nearly as noisy. It's about where you left it last night.
Yeah, still doesn't mean I don't want to put my teeth into something tonight.
We'll see if you get that chance.
Yeah, maybe.
So, do the both of you meet up together? Or do you go your separate ways for now?
Oh, get the hell out. I ain't got nothing better to do.
I would definitely like to meet up with John.
And where would you like to meet?
I would say the meeting house is probably the most efficient place.
In the meeting house it is. It's empty when the both of you arrive, and you arrive pretty much in tandem.
John! How are you doing?
Getting by, sweet cheeks. How's you?
I'm existing.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Heard about Delgado.
Yeah. Seems you never got that call.
Probably for the best. On my luck, I'd probably end up in the building.
Well. Maybe I should catch you up, but apparently I'm Delgado's grandsire. Well, no, he's my grandsire. Forgive my brain.
Sorry, for a second there I thought you were gonna be your own grandpa.
That would be quite amusing. No.
I've heard stranger.
He is my grandsire, apparently.
Was.
Well, was. That is... Yes. But, with his passing, I still intend to hold up my end of things.
And what would that be?
Setting up a meeting spot for the Barons.
Well, now there's two of them, so it might make it easier. Who knows, maybe they want a vacation home.
Well, and there is, of course, the new third one that is going to be put in place.
Oh yeah, like that's gonna make a difference.
Well, certain little birdie has told me that somebody we know might be in the running.
Well, ain't that just grand?
Exactly. So, I was wondering if you would like to help me.
Now, why would I up and do a fool thing like that? Right now, I'm in the middle of packing my bags and getting the fuck out of here.
Running away? I didn't pick you for one who'd give up so easy.
You're an idiot if you want to end up sticking around here. You got the cam coming in. You got Baron's gonna be warring over turf. You got every lick who ended up there thinking they got something coming for a piece of the pie. And even if everything does by some miracle stabilize in the next 5 years, there won't be much left. And if that's not worse, tensions rise high enough that somebody's gonna do something stupid, probably bring in the Second Inquisition or worse. So yeah, there's really not much incentive if you want to live.
That's fair.
So what's the incentive?
I'm not sure how to incentivize you, John.
figure that's about right.
But honestly, I could use some help. This problematic situation we find ourselves in, it hasn't exploded just yet. The Barons seem, well, seems like an awfully good opportunity to trap one of them.
Sorry, I ain't got the looks or the noggin for that kind of thing, so you're gonna need to spell it out for me, honey.
Oh, I don't think I need to, really. But think of it like this. Elysium grounds, the neutral places where no killing happens, correct?
So the theory goes.
Mm-hmm. But external to Elysium, hell, even in the parking lot, there's no telling what will happen.
Actually, there is.
Hmm.
Camarilla law says safety of a individual is guaranteed when going to Elysium and away from. This way it doesn't turn into a jumping thing. That's kind of been the shtick.
Not Camarilla.
Then you've pretty much destroyed every chance of Elysium happening.
That's fair.
The whole thing is built on a system of trust on pain of death kind of situation. Now, if you're trying to end up playing a Camarilla card, then you better know why it works. Trust
Well,
me.
perhaps you can educate me.
Now, why would I do a fool thing like that?
Well, because if it works, it could lead to help stabilizing everything. Maybe you won't have to pack your bags.
Yeah, well, just as a food for thought, I'm talking about what? Getting the, let's say you got the Barons in order. Sake of argument, right? How do you even start to take out the Camarilla? I mean, hell, I've already found one, and I'd have no idea on how the hell they end up taking them out without it becoming a fucking shit show, so.
Agreed. But that's
Besides,
why we get the Barons together, so they can talk about this sort of stuff.
you talk, they take somebody out. You ever wonder how it is that Cammy got in here?
Actually, I have.
Yeah. And what did you come to?
I came to that nobody was really paying attention.
Try again. Not only was there people paying attention, they were organizing this shit.
Oh?
Yeah. Ever heard of an individual called Dren?
Yes.
Fantastic. You can thank him for this bullshit.
Oh?
I don't know jack or shit about here how things are done in this, but to my understanding, he has something that allows him to get people in and out of the city with very little issue. And I'm sure that whatever Baron he falls under, whoever it is, might end up, well, certainly wouldn't want to end up having that little bit shown on him, especially after the bullshit Urien ended up pulling.
Interesting. Do I know who Dren actually works for?
You would know that he is under Batista's domain.
Interesting.
Now the question here is how the hell do you pin it on him? I mean, ghosting him's gonna be pretty freaking hard, and even then, if whatever Baron he works under finds out he goes missing, then it turns into what, Cam took him out? So, and we don't know how deep this goes.
Well, a question occurred to me. You see, the one who took out Jameson... Sorry, not Jameson. The one who took out Delgado was apparently working for Jameson. Or appeared to be working for Jameson.
How do you prove that?
Well, considering that came from one of the spirits, not really sure. That being said, it raised a question of whether Jameson did Urien.
How do you mean?
Well, Bure did go missing while dropping information
What did this kid have
to
to say
Jameson.
something about it? Or what did this kid have something to say about it? Wasn't that what the whole reason that Short Stack ended up going down to see him?
No, that was before that. It was actually something that I do believe Delgado said. And
Wow.
that apparently all sides are missing people.
Well, tell you what. This sounds like we're in an impasse here, so how about I make you a deal? You make this, you make sure that an unfortunate accident happens to befall near Dren. Get him off the fucking pit show without it stirring up the Barons none. So this way no one has a call to fucking arms, or it starts turning into a case of he gets defended because he might be able to weasel his way out, especially given on what the implications are. Then maybe I might be able to help you out with this Elysium thing.
Interesting. Interesting proposal, one I'll have to think about.
Well, don't think too long. Every minute we end up waiting, either Baron's taking turf or we're losing something to the camp.
That's true.
And bluntly, I really don't have the time to end up sitting here waiting on an answer when I could be just getting the fucking head to the trunk of a cab and paying somebody to drop me out of here. That
Well,
right now is a higher priority if you haven't caught.
that's fair. Well, if that's what you decide to do, that's what you decide to do.
I'm getting this impression you don't take me too seriously, Velda.
Not that at all. I do take you seriously. But the question is, why should I stop you?
Well, because bluntly, when it comes down to solving problems, seems to be I'm the only one who seems to end up doing so, and I'm trying to follow along with plans that I'm not sure I'm not going to end up getting me killed. I did not end up jumping Chicago just to end up going back into the grave. Not going to happen.
That's fair. It's not a reason for me to stop you. That's a reason for you to run, though. You don't like being a pawn on the board.
I don't like having my time wasted. I know well enough that we only have a few hours every night to actually get this stuff done. The rest of the time, almost 3/4 of a given day, I'm sitting stone helpless in some undisclosed location, he uses finger quotes, specifically with the hope that I wake up again the next night. Now, you might end up being able to sit pretty with, servants and all the wonders that money can buy. And you can end up go ahead and end up pretending to end up being some fashionista or whatever the fuck it is that you end up doing. Alright? Most of us don't have that luxury. So, yeah, it's pretty hard for me to end up feeling a sense of patriotism towards a city that bluntly seems to be looking to get me killed.
The city is looking to get you killed. My.
You know exactly what I meant. Jesus, I figured that, bitch Rose like you would at least have a understanding of the flair for the dramatic. Jesus.
And yet you seem to be the one that is very dramatic, John.
No, I laid it out. But if you want to end up calling the bullshit, I got better things to do.
Well, if you think you've got better things to do, it's not up to me to force you. For now, I'm going to see what I can dig up. So I'm going to see if I can't get in touch with some of those from my clan. Maybe I might see if I can get in touch with the Nosferatu.
And that's when you see that Benji is starting to walk into the door.
Benji!
Oh, I did not expect anyone to be home.
It's nice to see you too.
Hi. So,
Not much. Just discussing the plans for this evening. Dear John here is feeling like running.
and John, he kind of just looks over at you. No, never mind.
What?
What?
You got something to say it.
I don't know, seems a little chicken shit.
Yeah. Seems I'm the only one who has an interest in actually getting through this shit. So, pardon if I don't have an interest in joining what seems to be a very large suicide pact.
Nobody said anything about suicide to me.
That's what you're signing me up for. And you have not convinced me that there's any way for this to end up working out in any other way. And as a point, quick way to end up losing allies, quick way to end up making things fall apart. You want to bring people together. People don't get together if they don't have anything to hope for. So, by all means.
take out this Hugh fucker. Maybe people will get behind that.
I'm listening.
We know where he is, right? We know where he hangs out, right? Why haven't we hit him?
Because he's a big unknown. A giant question mark.
Big fucking whoop, so
That
am
and
I.
he's fucking terrifying.
So we're just gonna, what, Velda?
Well, if you want to go in there, be my guest.
You see, Benji, she's willing to throw you to it. Not willing to end up stepping up on her own. And then she starts throwing the calico. This is how
No,
every rose
John.
operates.
I would like something more solid to stand on.
Like what, Velda?
You see, I've been face to face with this guy.
Yeah, and you walked away.
Yes. Barely.
Barely. He didn't touch you.
I know. Why didn't he touch me? He could have killed me at any moment. Why didn't he?
Been asking myself that question too.
Either he's a fucking psychotic maniac who hasn't figured out that he's got enemies, or he's playing the long game.
Camarilla are smart. They play a long game. And he might be psychotic. Does that change anything?
I don't know.
Doesn't change shit.
If you wanna take him on, I'll back you up. I don't know how much good I'm going to be though.
Well, I'm tired of sitting on my ass.
Alright. Maybe you'll be more useful to me than you will Velda then. I can name a place.
For what exactly? Hitting you?
Nah. But I know on how he got in the city, and I'd like to end up cutting off his backup.
He wants to take out Dren.
That guy from the meeting of the Barons? I met that guy.
Yeah, apparently he's smuggling in Cam.
Got proof?
That's the problem.
That's
So, one of the two problems that we either have, we either find the proof, which can end up putting a huge red flag on you, or you can move them quiet and not let it, and everybody isn't aware that you just ended up doing the city a grand service, if that's how you have to look at it.
as if Rascal wasn't bad enough.
So this shit's happened before.
Yeah. Rascal was a Jameson piece of shit.
Great, so there are more than one domain. You said Batista, right, Velda?
Yes, Dren works for Batista.
Oh, well, fuck.
So, question is then, Benji, you willing to end up getting your hands dirty? At least do something proactive?
I don't like this not knowing shit. You're gonna tell me in the car. You're gonna tell me what you know.
Yeah, well, not a whole lot. I don't know. Besides, It's either that, or Velda goes to the goddamn hospital and checks out what the locals end up knowing about this. Oh God, what was the name? You know, window bitch. Hannah, I think it was her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I can't. Nope.
Yeah, well, you can't. I can't.
Why do we need to know about Hannah?
Because right now it's been labeled as a suicide, but the last person to see them alive was, if I recall, that was Amber,
Amber.
was not. And Amber hasn't been seen around for a little bit. Do you not find this a little bit concerning?
Perhaps.
Speaking of which, where is she tonight?
I don't know. I can send her a message, but who knows?
Hope she's
Apparently, a
okay.
meeting with her sire didn't go very well.
Really?
Panties tied in knots.
Why does that not surprise me? Not go well, as in he would hurt her?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, panties tied in knots.
I'm not sure what you mean by that then.
Yeah. All she said was that things just didn't go well. Although she seemed more irritated than anything else.
I suppose irritated is better than mad.
True. Might have been a little disappointment there as well. Who knows? I should probably check in with Asher as well.
Who?
Asher, my sire.
Right.
He has apparently been doing some talking.
Right. If there's anything useful, then you'll let me know, right?
Of course.
Sweet.
Oh. Did you hear?
About what, Delgado?
My particular relation to Delgado.
I'm not positive on what I heard.
I found out last night that apparently he's my grandsire.
Oh. Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. So,
Yeah, good luck
do
with
with that information what you will.
I mean, not like it does a whole
yeah.
lot of good anymore.
Oh, who knows?
I don't know what
But-
people are so obsessed about their sires with. I don't give a fuck about mine.
Who is yours?
Toothy ass son of a bitch you never want to meet.
That's fair.
Goes by the moniker Carnage. So,
Oh.
let that speak for itself.
Oh. What an intriguing name.
Yeah. You never
I
want to meet
did meet 3 of the domain holders last night too. Interesting people. But that's a different conversation. So, are we setting out?
I don't know. Are we?
I have a whole list of things that I would like to get done.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Mm.
I'm gonna go do things on my own. John, you want to come with?
Yeah, sure.
Stay safe, you pair.
I'll try. Gotta look after the old man, after all.
Mm.
Ain't that cute?
If something goes wrong, send me a single letter text.
Right.
I'll be wherever I can.
Yeah, I'm hoping to not be in that many pieces.
Hoping. But nobody's ever hoping to be in many pieces.
Good luck with your shit. And Benji starts to walk out the door.
John,
What?
watch his back. And your own.
Yeah. Yeah. John starts grabbing what bags he's already packed and hooks them over his shoulder. Heads out.
Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Well, I guess I'm off. And Velda leaves as well.
Where are you headed, Velda?
She's headed to any of the Toreador gatherings.
You get in contact with Asher, and he's just finished meeting up with a couple of people. Seems like things are off to an interesting start.
Interesting how?
And he says he'll tell you when you get there.
Very well.
So, in that regard, you meet up with him, and he greets you in a very friendly way, as is very typical. The night air is humid. It seems like everyone here is kind of meeting outside, not really going in any places, and keeping conversation to a low whisper.
Things are starting off interesting, Asher.
Well, most everyone knows about Delgado now.
Oh, goody.
And what's interesting is that Sanderson didn't really make any vocal claims that he'd be taking up barony. But I assumed he would, given he's been vying for that since Delgado took position.
Hmm.
He's also a very patient man, so maybe he's biding his time. Who knows? But, anything you want to know specifically?
Yes. Do you know what Dren's been up to these nights?
He's often busy at the airport. It's kind of where kind of his stomping grounds. As far as what little things he's been up to lately, what he's been telling everyone is, especially with the news of Delgado, is that he's been upping security.
I see.
At least through the airports. Double checking everything, getting his people to double check everything. You know, TSA and everything.
I had a friend raise an interesting question. How did the Camarilla get into the city?
I mean, I assume like everyone else, they came by car.
Yeah.
We don't exactly have toll roads to monitor things. We don't exactly have restrictions on highways or anything like that. It's really anti-Texas.
That's fair.
This
little friend was questioning whether it was Dren who let them in.
Dren.
I mean, it's not like we haven't seen one Camarilla agent in with...
But to have two that went to go see the Barons?
would be just right for sowing in the seeds of chaos.
He's young. I don't know. I'd have to go dig
It's
a
something
little
to
bit deeper
consider.
in his history in order to get an idea of the man. I haven't really done a whole lot of looking into him since we're, barony mates or whatever.
It's an interesting question. Quick question as well. It occurred to me, once I got over the shock of everything, that when I spoke to Delgado, he mentioned that all sides are missing people. Is Batista missing anyone?
A newcomer, newly embraced, I think. He hasn't been seen in a while. Ventru, I think. Donovan Rios. But that could just be that he's young and his sire is taking full responsibility for him at this point. I don't know. I've seen the Toreador lately, but everyone else has been a little skittish. Especially Kristen.
Kristen
Arbach. She's a little paranoid Malkavian.
Malkavian?
Yeah. Her line comes from deep south somewhere.
Interesting. And she's been skittish.
She's always skittish. She's paranoid.
That's true.
She doesn't
Perhaps you
like
could
things
introduce
out of
me.
control, and all of this has made her really consider going to ground.
I think this has made everybody consider going to ground, Asher.
Can you blame them?
No, I can't. In fact, I had a conversation with somebody just this evening about them going to ground.
Anyone who's smart would leave.
Well, I'm not particularly smart, apparently.
I don't believe that for a second. You're far too smart for your own good.
So,
So,
perhaps you would like to introduce me to this little Malkavian. I do have a soft spot for them.
that's if she'll have an audience with anyone these days. I can try, but I doubt it. Once all of this blows over, then maybe.
Has Jameson been seen in the past night?
I haven't been to his domain, so I can't say. With word kind of getting around that he's involved in Delgado's demise.
Indeed. Well,
He's either going to lock up tight, or he's going to come to the person who started the rumor and actually put an end to them. Or, you know, scare them into submission, or whatever it is that Bruja do.
Yes, use brute force. Ah, well. Whoever started the rumor,
It wasn't you, was it?
Could have been anyone.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Look at you being
And
cheeky.
perhaps,
Perhaps.
drawing him out is just the thing that we need.
Well, I could spread the rumor that you started it. He might come looking for you.
He might. That might be a little more dangerous. I'd like to let him come looking for me on his own. It's not like I've been quiet on it.
Yes, well. You were the one stirring up things, saying that you wanted to get in touch with him, and then this comes out that you somehow heard that he's involved in Delgado's demise.
Yes.
Just putting the strings together for you, dear.
Oh, I know. I'm sure he'll come for me in due time. Now, all of this is such a mess.
And you expect it to be anything less than a mess right now.
Actually, it's less of a mess than I thought it would be. But if you could get me in with that little Malkavian, I would appreciate that. I'm sure
Chances are
it's-
unlikely, but we'll see.
Indeed we will. So, I just had a thought. That Donovan Rios. Do you know who his sire was?
Tony Henriksen. But, I think he's not been seen either.
Sorry, what was that last name again?
Henriksen.
Henriksen.
Not sure what he's been up to, if I'm honest. He had a little domain over by Castle Hills.
Interesting. So he hasn't been seen either.
Well,
Do you know what his business was? He is a Ventru after all.
he didn't really have much of a business. He was more of a counselor.
Counselor?
Yeah, for a local NA group, if I remember correctly. He goes to AA and NA meetings.
Why would somebody like that be taken out?
Dunno. It's not a terribly notable piece, if I'm honest. But I suppose any piece is a good piece.
I might have to go investigate that.
Well, wish you all the luck.
I'll take it. Who knows, maybe I might meet this other group of Camarilla.
You want to meet them?
Want is not quite the right word.
Need to meet them?
It's more, if I meet them, I meet them. And hopefully I'll get away. But the more information I can come out with, the better.
And what you intend to do with this information is?
Hand the information to somebody who can do something about it, of course.
You think you can't do something about it?
Well, not physically.
Who said it had to be physical? Remember what I told you yesterday. Play to your strengths. It's a more vicious weapon than strength will ever be.
This is true. Well,
I'll let you play the
perhaps
long game
talking could get me somewhere. But for now, there's too many missing puzzle pieces. Time to start filling in the gaps.
Fair enough.
Well, I think I should move on with my night.
Need anything else, just let me know. More of it
course,
will
Asher.
likely come at a price.
Oh.
I can only give you so much free information before I have to start thinking about my own wants and desires.
Of course. If I can do it, you know it'll be done.
Yes, you're tenacious. That's why I like you.
All right, Asha, stay safe.
You as well.
And Velda is going to head off. She's going to see if she can't meet with Gabe.
Okay. And how do you intend to do this?
Same way she did it last time. Poke her around in the area where she found him.
That is the long way. You do know someone who knows him.
Well, she's not sure if they know the same person. Actually, no, you're right. She will actually go talk to Fox then.
Okay. Right. So Blush. Are you simply going to take Fox with you and just have them contact Gabriel, or are you actually going towards Jameson's domain?
She's gonna go talk to Fox and see if Fox would be willing to get in contact with Gabe
That wouldn't be an issue.
on her behalf.
They would be okay with that. They would do that for you.
And however she normally gets in contact with him, that's what Velda would go with.
Okay. So, Fox lets you know that they are able to get in contact with Gabriel and that they did set up a meeting at Club Lush, but like in the back alleys where no one can be seen. They don't even have. You look around and there's not even surveillance footage back here.
Yeah.
It's just empty. So they're just kind of standing with you, waiting for Gabriel to arrive.
Thank you for this, Fox.
Yeah, no problem. Do you want a private conversation, or do you want me to stay? What's going on?
Doesn't bother me either way. If you would like to hang out, or if you would like to leave, that's up to you.
I mean, really, it's up to you.
Like I said, I'm not too fussed.
Okay. I guess I'll stay here then. You wanted to get in contact with Gabriel for what exactly? He wanted to know, but I couldn't really say because you hadn't told me.
He and I met a couple of nights ago, and there was discussion of setting up a meeting with Jameson.
Jameson's another one of the Barons, right?
Yes. Well, things have gone south,
Yeah,
as I'm sure you've heard.
I don't know all of the details, but somebody important died, and now Urien's just kind of doing his own thing. I think he has his own office that he's just working out of right now, or calling people, or doing something. I don't know exactly.
One of the Barons was killed.
And you want to contact another Baron?
I want an update. I want to know how things are going in Jameson's territory. I want to know what's going on. There's too much information missing. Too much that we don't know.
I mean, I'm
more
just trying
than
to
ever.
set up this club so that we could have, like, a place to sleep and a place to eat.
And I think you guys have done an amazing job.
It's really all Carlos.
I'm
just here to be a pretty face.
And you are a very pretty face. But you know, I think you're more than a pretty face. Maybe. I'm sure you've got some hidden talents.
We'll see.
I quite like you, Fox.
Thanks.
Don't tell anyone else. I'm supposed to be a raging bitch.
mean, aren't a lot of pretty people that way?
Oh. Supposedly. We're all out to get something.
I mean, who
Sometimes
isn't?
that's just the easiest way to do it.
Right. And shortly after, you do see in the dark the deep shadows that there is a figure standing there.
Gabe.
What was your name again? Ah, yes,
Velda.
Raging Bitch.
Raging bitch works too. How are you?
Existing.
Like many of us these nights.
You wanted an update on what, contacting Jameson?
Yes, desperately.
He's fucking pissed.
He's fucking pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Why is he pissed?
Because, unlike other rumors, something's got a big old bug in his ear about the fact that Delgado's dead, and he's being blamed for it.
That.
So, you can understand why he doesn't want to meet you out in public like this.
Out in public. But he does want to meet.
Well, I don't know if he wants to meet with anybody, really. He's kinda wanting to clear his name, but he knows that nobody's gonna listen to him, so... You tell me.
Well, would you like to know where this idea that Jameson killed Delgado came from?
Is it believable? That's the better question.
Perhaps, perhaps not. How about one of the victims?
What does that mean?
Well, there are some who can converse with those of us who are no longer walking the mortal plane.
And I'm guessing you're one of these people.
Assumedly. The one who gave this information was the spirit of Alexander, Delgado's ghoul.
Uh-huh.
Jameson says, welcome.
Okay. So Spirit said this.
Was the last thing he heard before the entire building was set on fire.
Sounds made up to me.
To you, perhaps. But it's true is true.
Well,
So,
you can tell him that if you like.
either somebody's setting him up, or he did the deed, or had somebody do the deed for him.
You
I
can
mean,
argue
he
with
did
him.
have motive.
You can argue with him about that all you want.
Either way.
Either way.
I would still like to carry on Delgado's wishes. Before Delgado's death, I met with him, and he wished to set up an Elysium where the barons could talk in safety.
Fucking Camarilla bullshit.
Indeed. I would like to pose this to him.
Oh, that's rich.
Is
Oh,
it?
that's rich. A Toreador. In Delgado. Proposing a Camarilla idea to a bunch of anarchs. And you don't suspect that he's Camarilla too.
Well, considering he's now dead,
Well,
there's no way of checking up on that.
all of that aside, could have been a Camarilla spy, could be that somebody did us all a favor.
Could be. But there's a lot of could-bes going around right now. And I think the best thing that we can do is get all of our information together. Figure out what eggs are actually in the basket. And what ones are just assumptions.
And you're what? Batista's go-between? You were Delgado's go-between? That's something that you said
I'm
before.
nobody's go-between right now, but I would like to be.
A neutral party.
Mm-hmm. Somebody who just wants the city to stop being a mess for 5 seconds.
You and every Nosferatu in this city.
Mm-hmm. This is true. Speaking of Nosferatu, have you heard anything about Bjorn?
No. Fucking bastard.
No. Fucking bastard.
He wasn't exactly liked.
Well, that seems to be the general consensus. But,
Most of the Nosferatu I know generally didn't like him, so... Good riddance.
I
Question mark.
also heard, before Delgado died, from Delgado's very own mouth, that Bjorn went missing while passing information to James.
What information?
He never said.
I don't know the details of Bjorn's disappearance, and either gladly for me or sadly for you, I don't give a shit.
Okay. And have you heard anything about Wolf?
Who's Wolf?
Apparently he's Bjorn's child.
I don't know. He wasn't part of
You don't
Jameson's
know him?
domain.
No, Delgado's.
I don't know really anybody from Delgado's domain. The fact that I meet
But you knew
Pierre's
Bjorn.
kind of trespassing.
Well, technically it's not Delgado's domain anymore, so... This is interesting.
Well, I got you in touch with Jameson. He at the very least wants to see you. Or is going to allow you to see him, to be more precise.
Where and when is all I need.
And he gives you an address that's kind of at one of the malls in the south side of the city?
Yeah.
You meet in the parking lot there. You'll be kind of isolated, so you can't speak freely. But he's gonna have backup.
Mm-hmm.
So, do with that what you will. So I kept up my end of the bargain.
Of course. And now I owe you. Unless there's something you'd like to call in.
What is this place?
This place?
Yeah.
Well, this place belongs to Urien Doyle and Carlos and Fox and their little group.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place for them to sit and be comfortable. A place to feed and rest.
Kind of looks to Fox. Is he treating you right? And Fox just kind of nods. Good. And then he turns his attention back to you, Velda. Well, what you can do for me is I want to know everything there is to know about Urien Doyle.
Everything there is to know about Urien Doyle.
I'm sure
Even I
that's
don't know that.
Well, everything you do know, then.
I know he's
I
a
want to make sure
Tremere.
that my Fox is safe.
I know that he's a Tremere. I know that he's good on his word when he gets. He's very clever. Very thoughtful man. He is... How do I put it? Very skilled in what he does.
Which is?
Talk. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to manipulate the board. That's something that I've seen. And with that, he's a dangerous person.
So is
If he
that
doesn't like you. He keeps those that are close to him close and safe. And those that make an enemy of him, well, he won't stick you in the back. He'll stick you in the front, and you won't even see it coming. And he's not afraid to dole out punishment. You know who Benji is?
Kinda. Not really.
Well, Benji is a Bruja who is working with Mr. Doyle. My first meeting, Mr. Doyle had me and another kindred carry Benji into their meeting house. Benji was, well, you look prettier than how he did. Put it like that.
Wow.
And apparently, Mr. Doyle is well aware of what's going on. Not really sure what else I can tell you.
Then then I suppose a meeting is in order. I want to meet him.
You want to meet him?
Yeah. How hard can that be?
That should actually be fairly easy. Fox, you said Mr. Doyle was in his office?
I think he's around. I'm not positive. He might be out. I don't know. I could go look.
If you could, that would be amazing.
And Fox goes back into the building and from what you assume, is going to go see if Urien's around. Anything
Why
happens
is it?
to that kid, it's on you.
It's on me.
Well, all of you, really.
I quite like Fox. So, I'm not going to do anything to them.
I quite like them too, and I'd like them to stay above ground.
Of course. It seems like
Nobody
they're
gives a
being
shit
taken
about the
care
thin
of.
bloods in this city. So,
Well,
I look after them.
seems like Mr. Doyle cares as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
I guess we will. Is that why you would like to meet Mr. Doyle?
Is that obvious?
It is. You've got a bit of a soft spot for Fox.
Yeah, well, their sire didn't, so somebody has to.
There's a lot of sires like that around, it seems. Why turn someone if you don't give a fuck?
Who knows? I certainly don't.
You are as interesting as you are ugly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that's a backhanded compliment.
I'm not going to lie, I still can't get over your face.
Yeah. Well, I'll smile big and pretty for you then.
Ah.
With that, I think we are going to take a quick break and come back to what John and Benji have been getting themselves up to. Be back soon, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 18 of San Antonio by Night, Season 2, The Oncoming Storm. We left off where Velda, Fox, and their friend Gabriel were going back towards a rear exit towards a back office in which Urien has been working away at both instructing Carlos on more of the ins and outs of running a business, as well as potentially setting himself up with other contacts and things for possibly claiming barony. Gabriel has pulled up a hood on his jacket and stuck his hands in his pockets and is walking through this hallway as nonchalantly as one can when going in through a rear exit. Almost a fire exit, really. And Fox gives a bit of a knock on the door.
Who is it?
It's Fox. There's someone here to see you.
Who might that be?
His name's Gabriel Suarez.
Now, I believe we've already done a roll for Gabriel, right?
I believe you have.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have my notes with me right now.
That's okay. You know that he's not a notable name.
Alright.
But it is one that Fox has mentioned before.
I gesture to those in the room to exit and tell them to bring Fox and this Gabriel in.
And the door opens, Velda, and it seems that Carlos is one of the people inside the room, and so Carlos leaves and gestures for the three of you to enter, kind of looking at Gabriel a little bit suspiciously, but goes back through the hallway towards the front of the bar.
Urien stands and gestures to the seat. Please, won't you sit down? It's good to see you face to face again.
Fox kind of gestures for the other two to go first and follows after. And
Yep.
sorry, were you saying something, Velda?
No?
Oh, I thought you were saying something. Never mind. And Urien, what you see is an individual dressed in a hoodie, but doesn't really look up. Kind of has it draped really low. You definitely see that they're keeping their hands in their pockets.
I wait for the door to close, and once it is done, please, feel free to be more comfortable. Move the hood. Do not feel you need to hide from me.
And this person, when they pull their hands out of their pockets, you see long, spindly, gray fingers. And when they pull the hood back, their eyes are sunken so deep that it's like black pits with golden orbs in the center and a large toothy maw.
Gabriel. Greetings, Velda. And Fox. I'm assuming this involves you, since you're still here.
He wanted to meet you.
Just fulfilling my end of a bargain.
I trust that we can be making the most of that boon, then. It is a pleasure to end up meeting you. Hey, Gabriel. Face to face. He extends a hand across the table.
And Gabriel reaches a long hand towards yours and grasps it fairly tight.
I tighten my grip enough just to try and enforce there's no way I am as strong as this creature that currently grasps my own hand. After a moment, I release the grip.
He has a fairly solid grip, too.
I have no doubt. It is what I would expect from Nosferatu. I smile a bit at him. So, Gabriel. May I call you Gabriel?
Sure.
What is it that brings you into this little office I have here?
Well, I wanted to meet the person who is responsible for Fox's safety right now.
Well, you seem to be uneasy with the concept. You wouldn't be here.
I tend to think that most kindred in this city despise thin bloods on the best of days.
Perhaps.
I want to make sure that she stays safe.
Who is safe in this city, Gabriel? Name one individual who is safe in this city, and I will show you a liar.
Given everything that's going on right now, you wouldn't be lying.
No, I do not end up offering safety, Gabriel. I do not offer full solutions. All I can offer, and as I have offered Fox, is opportunity. Opportunity to transcend their cursed thin blood. You're correct in one way. They don't get a fair shake. Here I am free to experiment with the idea. See what I can teach them. See what they are made of. As much as your own curse may weigh upon you, especially in your early days, you have found ways to rise above it. All I can do is give the opportunity for Fox to do the same. You knew Fox before they found their way into my hands, yes?
I did.
Did they have a club, a coterie, a way of supporting themselves, or an individual who is willing to spend evening after evening by their side to try and teach them more than simply how to scrape for the rats and the downtrodden in order to get by, to give them some possibility of a future?
Every other domain had shut them out.
And I welcomed them with open arms. But I never promised a free ride, and never gave them that delusion.
Fair enough.
You are concerned, speak it freely and speak it through.
not just gonna kill them, are you?
No. I assure you, Gabriel, I have made it abundantly clear to them that I have placed them in positions where it is to my detriment should I do so, but not outside my ability to do so should they take advantage of my hospitality. This is my domain, after all. Delgado's death may make that claim questionable, but until another tries to force me off of it, I will continue to end up making this domain something our fallen Baron could have been proud of. Mine is the one domain where thin bloods can hunt. And so long as they understand the rules and play by them, I am willing to not only have them here for feeding, I'm willing to give them a chance to work, give them a chance at existing beyond everything.
And you see him kind of nod. Well, I suppose that's a better shake than anyone else has ever given anyone thin blood in this city currently.
I think it's more fair than most have given. But I will say this, Gabriel. You came here concerned about Fox. Their well-being is in your interest, as is mine. In this, at least now, we are aligned. But I have to ask, are you able to end up assisting me? Help me keep this domain. Keep them safe. Are you able to end up being a part of that, or is this simply a check on the neighbors and good enough? Is your concern a hollow one, or one that you will actually act upon?
It's anything but hollow.
To whom do you serve,
Gabriel?
Gabriel?
Been acting as a go-between between Jameson and the Nosferatu.
And your allegiance is to Jameson?
No.
To the Nosferatu, then?
Can't even say that. Believe it or not, I'm thin blood. And
I do.
And he goes to lower the collar of his shirt, and you see a brand, a very familiar brand. One similar to how many thin bloods back in Jackson were branded.
To whom do you owe that little birthmark?
No one anymore. My sire's kind of living comfortably in Houston.
Then I'll have to fix that some night.
I was able to pass it off for about 5 years before they caught on.
Then I will ask you, Gabriel, do you have a home?
Home?
Yes.
Such as a haven?
No. A haven is where you sleep. What I am saying is that you wish for Fox to be alright. Because they are thin blood.
Yes.
I have offered my domain for the services of thin bloods. To give them that same shake, as you say it. You say that you are thin blood. You bear the mark. It's only reasonable that such invitation be extended to you. I do not promise anything, but I will offer the opportunities as I find them. And you've already seen more than a few in my domain.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can stick around.
Fantastic. Velda.
Yes.
Is there anything else you must ask of Gabriel?
No. No, not at all.
Very well then. Would you wait outside? I have some business to discuss.
Of
It
course.
won't take long. And, Velda, I appreciate you bringing this one to me.
He brought himself to you.
Perhaps that's one of the few times you should not correct me. Let me live in my dim belief.
Velda moves to wait outside.
Gabriel, do you want the deal that I gave to Fox? That I have given to every thin blood? The open secret. Why it is that her well-being is in my best interests.
Sure. Is it gonna cost me my head?
No. There is a relationship I have with thin bloods, one that you may find disturbing, but one that assures that it is in our mutual interest. So you will learn the secret, and if you choose to reveal it, then I know where your allegiances are, and you will have put Fox at risk, which I know you do not wish. I do not feed on mortals, Gabriel. More accurately, it is dangerous for me to do so. Let us call it abstraction of blood. And so, I must drink of kindred. And so I have myself thin blood all about me, who willingly offer unto me their own veins.
You're a fucking cannibal.
That I am. You know what else I am? I am absolutely ruthless in going after everyone who threatens my domain and those who reside in it. I am insatiable when it comes to the levels of sadism of those who would end up putting those under me in harm's way. And I will end up making them beg for the sun before I ever allow a thin blood or anyone else in my domain to ever end up coming to harm. But I have never forced Gabriel. I have always ended up giving the offer. Now you know. You may end up offering unto me, if you so wish it. If not, I understand your reluctance, and will speak no more of it. But know that the thin bloods sustain me, and I sustain them. A threat to their existence is a threat to my own. I'd like to think of it as quite an interesting relationship. To have someone like me saying no one touches that thin blood under my domain. You can ask around, ask if I am a bluffer. Ask if I have not made true every word that has come from my lips. I've built my reputation since Jackson on blood, burnt bone, steak, and sunlight. And if any word were to ever come from my dearest fox, or any thin blood under my domain, well, Satan preserves them, because I will be sending them directly to him. And that protection extends to you, should you wish it.
Right. Then I suppose if a cannibal's gonna be eating from Fox's neck, I might as well stick around and make sure that it doesn't go too far, because the second that you do, your head is mine.
Good. I would hope for nothing less. You find that strange?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's kinda goes against everything I've ever been taught.
What's that?
Drinking from another kindred.
It can be done, it's just not recommended.
A taboo.
Diablerie is a taboo. The blood bond is something that is commonly practiced amongst Camarilla.
Yeah.
And thin bloods cannot bond. So it is safe for me to feed upon thin bloods. And my resources are dedicated to protecting this domain, which houses thin bloods. I give thin bloods a chance to earn their keep. A chance to hunt without worrying about being hunted. Permission to do as they will in service to a domain that they can call their own. Tell me, where else do you find that? Name the domain and you may find 5 in the world. And I run one of them. My weakness is being used by thin bloods as much as their vitae is used by me. As far as most business relationships go, I think that is more than fair.
Alright.
What say you, Fox?
Um, well,
Have
the...
I spoken a lie?
No.
Have I been forthcoming to Gabriel, even though it is not in my best interest to do so?
I suppose so. It's strange that you would be that forthcoming, if I'm honest. You
It is.
expose your weakness to monopolize on it. It's weird.
If it helps, Gabriel, it now becomes in your best interest to tell me about every threat to this domain's safety, so that I may not need to drink from Fox that evening. Or you.
Well, I suppose I better get familiar with the domain then.
Might I offer you something to drink before you do?
I'm good for tonight. I'll take you up on that some other night.
Gabriel, after you do what it is you must, I have no doubt that you will tell Baron Jameson this, and your fellow Nosferatu.
Fellow
would
is a
plead-
strong word.
You can pass. That is far more than Fox can say.
Fair enough.
But I will say this. I would implore you not to tell. But should you, I am hoping that it will be worth it. That in some way it truly does serve this domain. Because if it does not, I know they will come for me. And I do not wish Fox to be caught in the crossroads or any other thin blood.
He's fucking pissed.
He is. As am I. So you understand that it was probably more in my best interest to just end up consuming you right here and now and leave nothing but a husk. And ship it back to Jameson, saying Delgado sends his response. That would be the appropriate play, I think you will agree. But I have not. Because that would put my thin bloods in danger. That would put Fox in danger. And that would end up making it very clear that at this point the Anarchs are at war with each other as the Camarilla are finding their way into this city as we speak. So tell me, what master would I serve? Save Delgado's memory and his vision. And his vision that he ended up giving me. So that I may end up having this domain and make it into some form of haven for those who have none. All I have ever asked is you pull your weight. So I'll find out very shortly, Gabriel, on just what sort of man truly cares over my little Fox.
Is there a message you want sent to him instead?
There is no message I could send that would change anything. Save for that at this point, Delgado will be revenged. Now, if I need to go to war with Jameson, and I have to do it alone, then so be it. But before he fires the first shot, perhaps you should remind him what I did to get here. And exactly who he's going to war with. Food for thought, Gabriel. But still, take your fill before you leave. Observe the domain. See those that keep eyes. See the thin bloods as they walk by, as they come into this booth, as I hear whispers about this domain. I done what I could with what little has been graciously given to me, and I've made it so much more. And now Fox learns these same skills. Because the truth is, Gabriel, this little place is not my domain. It belongs to them.
Food for thought.
If you wish to destroy it, you need not more than say a few words to Jameson. By all means, do so.
I don't think I will.
Then I think that's a start, is it not?
He's just real goddamn pissed he's being blamed for this shit.
Notice I have not acted upon that information yet.
And he hasn't either.
We'll see on how long this water is cold. Now, is there anything else I can do for you, dear Gabriel?
Nope, you've satisfied my curiosity.
Well, might I suggest go to 7th Street? Right on the corner. The building offers a fantastic view of what little land I am overlooking. You'll see the upside-down pentagram. That's the perfect spot to stand.
Alright. We'll see you later then. He looks over to Fox and then goes for the door.
I look to Fox and raise a brow. If you have anything to say to him, do so now.
I don't think he'll do anything stupid.
I am hoping not either. It's hard to keep that front up.
He's always been good about helping me find havens before. I trust him.
I hope that your trust is well placed then, Fox. And I hope someday I will have earned that same trust. Truly.
I think you're well on your way to it.
You give me your blood because it is proper tribute. I look forward to the day when you offer it as a kind friend. I think that would be a good place to put the put it, fade from this scene and go back to Velda.
Yes. Fox leaves the office, and Velda, you're there. You see Gabriel come out, but go out the fire exit, and is disappeared into the night.
She can only smirk as he disappears, and she would pop back into Urien's office momentarily. The reason I had to fill my end of the boon is I had asked him to set up a meeting between myself and Jameson.
The grandchild of Delgado reaching out to the potential murderer of their grandchild or grandsire. Bold.
It is bold. I believe that Jameson will want to prove his innocence in all of this. Him taking out the grandchild of the one that he supposedly killed would be a very bad move and would look extremely bad on his end.
If he does so, it means war.
Exactly. And none of us, barons included, can really afford to fight a war on multiple fronts right now.
No, that is why he is biding his time. But he is waiting for those who will turn.
Yes.
Turn to go to from Delgado outward.
Mm-hmm. I still intend to fulfill Delgado's wish. And so this is what I'm going to be bringing to him. He apparently will have backup. So if something goes wrong, I'll send a single letter message through to Carlos, so that you know that something went wrong.
That sounds enough. Thank you for keeping me informed, Velda. I think the board is getting very interesting now.
Indeed. John has suspicions that he raised to me. That there is a potential that Dren may be involved in all this somehow.
Batista is lacking.
As Dren helps people get in and out of the city. I've put a whisper in Ash's ear, so word should get around fairly quickly. That is a concern.
Thinks about it for a moment. How do you intend to deal with the matter?
Well, John said something about an unfortunate accident. I don't know where he is right now, but he's with Benji.
Well, how unfortunate.
But I figured you should be kept in the loop.
You are hoping that I will suggest action perform an act myself. The invisible hand of Satan.
No. Simply, there are too many holes. Too many pieces missing. Too many pieces being moved around the board at any one time for me to keep up with.
That is true. It is also something that you have to learn to come to terms with.
Exactly.
If I might be so bold. I think part of your problem, Velda, is that you are... How do I put this delicately for the rose? You end up finding yourself in too many angles. You hear about them, you feel like you need perfect information, but that is never how it does work. The truth is that our existence is predicated on secrecy, even from each other. Which means that it is a universal constant. You will be dealing with half-truths and partial information, unyielding all forms of lies. And the truth is the more that we gain information, the more understood it all is, the more dangerous it gets for everybody. Sometimes the importance is very rarely with truthfully. The irony of that statement. No. The truth has never been the friend of kindred. They say this truth will set you free. Truthfully, it will only set you to final death. It is easy to cover up a truth with a lie. The more intriguing is when the lie covers nothing at all. Merely hiding the assumption that there is a truth. This is a bit metaphysical, I'm sure, but the idea simply comes down to this. You are trying to untie the Gordian knot. Take a sword to it. Remove all external factors and make the vision your own. Those of us who are not good at knot tying should only have to worry about that.
I'll take this into consideration. For now, I need to... Jameson. Jameson. One step at a time. Thank you for your time this evening, Urien.
Of course. Fox, I believe I am ready to continue the lesson with Carlos, and I think you should take the time to feed. You look pale.
Yeah, I'll go do that. And Fox makes their way out.
Velda would also be heading out.
And where are you off to, Velda?
The meeting with Jameson.
Alright. Let's see. I don't actually have that set up. Hang on.
she's probably going to send a message through to John and Benji saying that she has a meeting. And if something goes wrong, that she will message Urien. If they would like to join her, they may. Probably not a good idea for Benji, though.
Would John like to join Velda, or does he have other things on his plate right now?
No, I think he's got other things on his plate right now. Let's see what Velda can do.
Alright. Alright. Oh, I was gonna... Hang on. I'm setting up the scene. Sorry, I was not prepared for this.
You're fine. We've kind of moved through a lot of stuff.
Yep. So, you make your way to a bit of a parking lot. Kind of a bit of a park in the back of this mall. There isn't much to see, really. There's benches, there's lights, there's a path. It's very dark in many places, and it's not much to look at, really. So you arrive at the meeting place. You arrive at the meeting place where Gabriel said that Jameson would want to meet. But you look around, there's no one you know. It's a fairly empty park.
She would take a seat, phone in hand, ready to send a message at any point in time. And she would simply wait.
20 minutes go by. You're starting to think in the back of your mind, is he gonna show? Was tonight the night? You do eventually, though, see a man and a woman walking toward you. People you don't recognize by their face.
I stay seated, and I wait to see if they approach me.
They're making a beeline directly for you.
In which case she would stand up. Good evening.
Good evening. You must be Velda.
Indeed.
Victor. And this is Marjani.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure is all mine. What did you want? Let's get straight to the point.
I want to come to an accord.
On behalf of whom?
Myself. You see, I've been looking at everything that's going on between you, Batista, and the now deceased Delgado.
It's a shame, that.
It is. You see, before Delgado passed, I had a meeting with him. Imagine my surprise when I found out that he had been taken out. He had requested, well, come up with the idea that a meeting place be set up for the 3 barons to come together and discuss everything that's going on.
That was the whole idea behind meeting at the tower.
Mm-hmm. Seems no moves have been made since that. No moves of any consequence. You've seen the Camarilla's effects within your own domain. Yes?
Supposedly.
Baron Delgado has also been, well, had also been struggling with Camarilla in his own domain. I think we have a bigger threat than each other.
I don't know what you're insinuating at. Please be blunt with me.
There was a spirit at Delgado's burned down building. Who said that one of the last things that he had heard was, Jameson says you're welcome, by the one that killed them. You're on the hook.
And just like that, you believe a ghost.
I believe the trauma that they went through.
You know what the funny thing is about that kind of information, Miss Velda?
It's hard to verify.
Especially for a ghost. So right now, it is looking like there is nothing but a rumor going around.
Except that it also seems that Bjor went missing while he was supposed to be passing information to you. That's a little sus. And you did have a bone to pick.
If I recall the information correctly, Miss Velda, Bjor disappeared a month ago. Rascal was killed 2 weeks ago.
True.
I wouldn't have a bone to pick with Bjor at all in that time frame. I had no
Not
beef
necessarily Bjor. Not necessarily Bjor. But you know, funny how these things go.
I am the oldest, possibly, potentially oldest kindred in this entire city, Miss Velda. I allowed for Angela Batista and Antonio Delgado to come into this city because I felt that they would be good additions to this city when they came.
Mm-hmm.
I've had no reason at all to try and tear down what it is that they have built.
Well then, if that is the case, then I truly do urge you to start making moves against the Camarilla.
What makes you think I
I can
haven't?
give you... Because I've heard no word.
I have been trying my damnedest, Miss Velda, to rebuild my information network from the ground up as a result of Rascal's death. He was He may have been the traitor at the end, but he was good at his job. And I'm starting to wonder, really wonder, if the accusation posed against him was even correct. So you'll excuse me if I don't have the resources right now to assist anyone but my own constituents. I'm sorry.
Then pool resources with Batista. I hear she may also be having issues.
Who isn't?
Exactly. So now is the time to be working as a team. Don't you think?
I have the most to lose with the Camarilla coming into this city. Because most of the people that serve me and I serve are Ministry, Bruja, Gangrel, and Malkavian. I have nothing to gain from the Camarilla here.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm doing what I can. But my hands are tied.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just trying to recover.
So what happens when the Camarilla moves into Delgado's domain?
Delgado's people are still there. Somebody's going to take up the mantle, I know that much for sure.
But at the moment, it's disjointed. It's a mess.
That's not my problem.
I think that's everybody's problem.
A disjointed barony might be better at this point.
How do you figure?
Because if you can't unite under one person, then you unite under two. You unite under three. It's the whole point of this whole three barony system that we had in place here. Not one person could do it by themselves. I realize this.
And so you have 1,000,000 kingdoms.
And of course, try to ally. I don't know why I'm having this conversation with you, to be honest.
Right.
I don't have to justify myself. But I will guarantee you this, none of my people attacked Delgado.
You would swear to that?
I would swear to it. Because if they did, I would have their head.
I would like to insight that.
Go for it.
Insight...
Plus wits.
Wits. Oof.
It's a wonder that anyone argues with this man at all. He is very persuasive. What you read from him, though hard to read a little bit, you get the sense that he's genuine when he says that.
She gives him a small smile and says, "In which case, I believe you."
But
somebody is sowing the seeds of chaos.
did you ever stop to think that it's the actual Camarilla that's doing it?
Mm-hmm. You know what? At the very least, organize talks with Batista. Organize to meet.
She need only call me.
Wonderful. I believe eggs to be in the same basket in this case.
Quit poking your eyes at me and focus on
No,
the real threat, Miss Velda.
my eyes have been set on the real threat this whole time. By the by,
Your eyes have been set on me right now.
while I'm talking to you, it'd be rude not to have my eyes on you.
That's what I meant.
Camarilla agent. There is one in the former Delgado's domain by the name of Hugh.
I believe that
Supposedly
came up at the meeting last.
Scourge material.
Yes, I've heard the name.
Came up in the last meeting.
Yes, I met with the Barons like 2 weeks ago.
But at that point, you hadn't had somebody that had actually come into direct contact with him. Correct?
Not so far as I was aware.
Well, I've met him in person.
You say Scourge.
Potential Scourge, yes. Quite frankly, I'm wondering how I got away.
You see he gets a little bit more paranoid, and him and Marjani start to look around the premises.
You sense the unseen?
Go for it. Roll me it. Nothing. You feel you get the sense that maybe they just have raised hackles and start to get a little paranoid.
He's not here.
You're sure of that?
I'm certain. Apparently, he's not very good at hiding from what I saw.
Then I'll
And
definitely keep my eyes out.
Yes. He is Malkavian.
Good. I know what I'm dealing with then.
And he is exceptionally unstable. Violent.
It's never a good combination.
If you pick a fight with him, he will take the opportunity.
Noted.
And he has the sharpest eyes I've ever come across.
Seems to line up with what I know of Malkavians.
My associate, who was also involved and received a baton wrapped around her head,
Yikes.
believes that he may have done something to her mentally as well. So,
Good.
this is all information I'm sure you can use.
How good? How good is he at any of this?
I'm not sure. My meeting with him was brief. Terrifying, but brief. He carries himself with an air of confidence, as if he knows what he's doing.
If he was Scourge, then definitely would. that's been enlightening.
Hmm. Not a complete waste of time. So, you now have skills to add to your list. I will have to speak with Batista.
Do you know anything more? There's mentions of multiple people from the Camarilla coming in.
Yes, apparently there is a secondary party.
What do you know
Although,
about?
not a lot. One second, I need to go back through my notes. Apparently, his name of the second party is Kyle A. Calhoun. Apparently, the Jackson sheriff is also here.
Sheriff.
Nosferatu. But that's all I know about that group.
That's new information. Well, Ms. Velda, you have done this domain a service.
As I hoped I would.
If you need feeding, then you can, here, tonight only.
I appreciate it.
Try not to make a mess. If I have to come after you to clean up your mess, we will be having more than words.
Of course. 'Twas a pleasure, Baron Jameson.
It was enlightening. Have a pleasant night.
And you.
And the two of them begin to walk away.
Velda also makes her way away. And she's gonna see if she can't get in with Batista.
Getting in with Batista might be a little bit more tricky because that's going to take an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And she's booked up tonight, from what you can tell. According to Jaden.
Oh, goody. Well, if he can get me in at as soon as possible, that would be highly appreciated.
He can have you coming by middle of the night tomorrow.
I would appreciate it. And then she is going to send a message to Urien saying that the meeting went.
Sent to Carlos's phone?
Yeah.
You can assume that he got it.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
she's
response, but you
gonna.
can assume that he got it.
Yeah. And then she's gonna look into this Donovan and Townie who have gone missing. Maybe she'll pick up something. She'll also send Asher a message saying she spoke with Jameson and he is being cooperative.
He simply replies back with a thumbs up emoji.
Sweet. Lots of things going on. So yeah. She's gonna go to the area that these apparent Ventru hang out.
And what do you intend to do?
Have a look around. Explore the area. See if anybody approaches me.
So you make your way to Castle Hills, which is a small little town inside of the city limits of San Antonio. It's relatively small for a little city, but it's fairly well traveled. It's right alongside the major loop in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't necessarily know where it is exactly that these two people hang out because you never met them. You know that they preside over Castle Hills, but that's about it.
Yeah. So I want to be keeping my eye out for any potential marks around.
It's about 2 o'clock in the morning at this point.
Probably wander around for about an hour and head home.
As far as you can tell, it's about as empty as the city would be, or as busy, given some of the busy streets during the night as any other portion of the city. You don't even know what these people look like to be able to spot where they might be.
Well, maybe I'll see if I can get some more information and then come back here. Such as how to get in contact.
Fair enough.
But she'll probably head home and retire for the evening.
I suppose for the moment, then, we will catch back up with John briefly. John, what are you up to tonight?
Well, just telling Benji about this place. He said he wanted to stop. Some head came out. Figure, fuck it. No one else is gonna do anything. Everybody else wants to end up holding hands and sing Kumbaya and wait for the end. Might as well end up putting the boy to use and give myself something to talk about. So we're heading to the airport. More specifically, around the area. That is where Velda said this guy was located, right?
This is true. She did say that. And so you make your way towards the airport, which is just off of a very major intersection between two major highways. It's still fairly busy, even this late at night. And so are you staying in the parking lots? Are you...
Nope, I think I'm feed on Weary Traveler. And I want to end up making sure that my pretty face is seen on camera, as well as Benji's. Not gonna feed on camera, of course, but I want security to pick it up, and more specifically, I want this son of a bitch to know that we're here. And I want to get his attention. So,
Okay.
figure I'd piss on his lawn a bit by feeding on it.
since it is fairly early in the night when you do arrive, the lights are kind of dim inside the uh, inside the hallways. Before you even go to the security, you're walking through the streets, through the parking lots, through the interior, before you even get to the desks where you could purchase tickets. Just kind of perusing. You probably circumnavigate the entirety of the interior of the airport before you think that maybe there's a chance that somebody has seen the two of you now. If you want to make a feeding roll, you may.
Alright. Don't think it's particularly hard to end up doing this. Most people try and end up hiding there. Well, trying to sneak a cigarette in the bathroom, or walk around the building outside of cameras because no smoking signs. So I don't see this being particularly difficult.
Yeah, it's probably a difficulty 4. Alright.
I think that'll do it.
That'll do it. You find somebody who has made their way to a smoking stall and enter with them. You slip in, you have your feed, and do what it is you think you need to do to keep them quiet, and exit.
I end up walking on camera. End up probably pulled out a cup from the trash, filled it up with some sink water, put the used straw in my mouth, like as if I'm sipping on it. Look up on the camera, wipe my mouth. No blood, of course, but if he's watching, I want him to know what I just did. Come do something about it.
Benji's kind of walking with you, seeming slightly agitated. We just. Is this all we're doing? Just pissing about?
Benji, one of the first things you need to learn about these sons of bitches, you don't come to them, you make them come to you. You see, you remember where we parked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think you can, without getting caught on camera, smash a few lights for me? Make it nice and comfortable in there.
I think so. Yeah.
Good. Gets his attention. Knows where we're going. I'll meet up with you in a couple minutes. If you see something, don't say nothing. Just simply say, my constituent will be here shortly. Trust me. If he's as uptight as his Baron, then it's gonna be good. Fucking Cam.
Fucking cams. And Benji makes his way off towards the parking lot in which you paid for parking, and has left you be.
Full up. Itching. It's those old instincts from Chicago, you know. It's good to feel strong again. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure to end up keeping an eye on security. Waiting for one of them to keep an eye on me. Maybe make a radio call. But as soon as I see that, I'm gonna start walking back to the car. I'm sure that, because he's doubling up security, he wants to know.
And before too long, probably about half an hour after you circumnavigate the entire place, someone from security is radioing in that a suspicious character in a hoodie has been loitering.
I think it's about that time I start making my way towards the car.
And he makes it obvious that he is going to be following you.
Good.
And collects a couple of individuals.
Oh, this is gonna get exciting. I make my way towards the car.
And
As Benji managed to deal with the light situation.
And you do see that there are some lights that have been knocked out.
Nice and dim. Good. Good job, Benji.
Yeah, you got a tail.
I'm hoping. Now we make it very clear that this is not something you handle right quick. You ready to send a message, kid?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. Pats him on the shoulder. Goes against the car, leans against it. Seems to be pulling out maybe a cigarette or something like that. Just waits.
And the individuals from security do get a notification on their radio. They stop in their tracks for a moment. And you're waiting there with them, just staring you down for another 10 minutes or so before an individual comes down and meets them. And starts to approach you with the security in tow.
Yeah.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
You want me? Let me do the talking, Benji.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think this is a conversation you don't want to have in front of your friends. Sorry, you employees.
You're on airport property.
Yeah. See, the problem is baggage claim. You know, things seem to be getting passed. And, bags getting confused, you see. We had a situation, you might have heard of it.
If you have
So
an
is this
issue
a
with
con-
baggage claims, then you can take up a claim with them.
He starts to walk towards Hedron. Gestures for Benji to keep up.
And Benji keeps up behind you.
And he lets the shadows go a little darker around him. Not obviously so, but enough that probably Dren could pick it up. Are you sure this is a conversation you wish to be having in front of your constituents, Dren?
He looks to the security staff and has them go off a bit away, but stay within shouting distance.
Good.
Again, can I help you, gentlemen?
Yeah. See, right now, you got two choices. And really, it's only two. You can get in that van with us. We're gonna go for a drive. You're gonna explain a few things. Because right now, there's some heavy questions delivered at you. And somebody's gonna want some answers.
What
It's
kind
either
of
that,
questions and from whom?
not your concern. What is your concern is this is either gonna end up going real quiet or real loud. And the two of us are prepared for very loud right now. Try me.
Is that a threat?
No, me strangling you with the entrails of your security guards, that would be a threat. This is a friendly reminder on your priorities.
Who are you? I don't know you.
No, you don't. And that should be really fucking concerning for a man who's been bringing certain individuals in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you better hope that's the case, because right now, get in the van. Tell you people this was all a misunderstanding, and everybody walks away. Don't want your cover to be blown now, do you?
Fuck you.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
And he goes to the security staff.
As soon as he turns away, I am activating Oblivion.
Okay.
And I am going to make this Arms of Armon.
Okay, go ahead and roll the rouse for that.
Okay.
And you do get hungrier as a result.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no stains.
No, but I think Benji knows what's about to happen. Arms of Armon are gonna take out or start to take out the security before they can end up radio in. And I'm gonna let Benji end up putting this fool out to dry.
Okay. And that's an attack roll for each of the arms? Okay.
Let me crack open my book because I actually don't have that out in a very important scene.
Yes.
I think this is the first time I got to use this power, but they might not know it, but I'm a god in here. Let's see here. Wish I could end up flipping to the page I need right away, huh? 290.
Okay. I'm just setting up the sheet that I'm using for this. Oh wait, I have
Always.
I have a security staffer already set up. Never mind. Okay, and how many arms can you create with Oblivion?
I'm actually trying to end up finding that right now, but
I know it's a certain amount.
Yeah. You know, I swear to God that this book is not coded properly.
Let's see if I can find it.
Swear to God, I'm gonna end up putting a bookmark in this thing. There we go. Okay, so it takes 1 turn, pays the cost. We've done that. Shadow Pinchers. Use these. The vampire can perform bludgeoning and grappling attacks against distant targets. Additional arms can be created by splitting the dice pool. So basically, I can have as many as I want so long as I have dice. They can all be 1 die if I wanted.
Okay.
So I can, yeah.
So are you
So
creating one for all 3 people that are there?
like I said, it just depends on how I want to split the dice.
Okay.
And right now, this is a wits plus discipline. So this is going to be 5 dice. I am going to focus on anyone who might have their hand on a radio.
There is one person that has their radio ready.
Alright. Well, he ain't gonna live.
And it's wits plus oblivion versus what as a defense?
This is an attack roll.
Okay, so it's like a strength brawl.
Yep. Yep. Using wits and the. I'm so excited. This is the first time I got to use this power, so it's not intuitive. It's cost using these. Arms use the vampire's wits plus oblivion to attack and deal superficial damage or grapple. Halving the user's potence rating rounded up as damage. So success plus half my superficial or as a grapple.
Alright, then they will be using a typical dodge roll, which
All right.
is dexterity athletics,
Alright.
versus your wits oblivion. And you're going to make it into a single attack roll right now?
I am.
Alright, go ahead and roll it.
And I am going to try and stop anybody from bringing in backup at this point, while Benji deals with the rest of it. And let me double check here. Yeah. Oh. 3, not too bad.
3 successes, alright. Alright, you win by 1.
So that's a win plus 1 plus 2, so that's 2 superficial.
2 superficial, 2 mortal.
To the individual trying to stop him from calling anyone else in.
Alright, 2 superficial damage to that person it is. Actually, notate their individual health. Alright, so that guy took 2 points of superficial damage. So he... when you go to hit him and he goes to dodge, he actually drops the handheld portion of his radio as he does so, as the arms hit him. And so he is not able to do that this turn because he went and dodged instead. So there is that. And this turn, Benji is going to attempt to grapple on Dren, which is I'm going to do that as a strength athletics to grapple him. Oh, that's a poor roll for Benji. And then for Dren,
Well, let's see what turn he has.
and then Dren is going to do a dexterity athletics, which is a very poor dice pool for him. This is what he has backup for. They kind of tangle in each other, but neither one has the upper hand. they're having a bit of an issue. The other two security guards are going to draw their weapons this turn, so that they could get a shot next turn, because they are not Gould, so they do not have anything that would help them in this regard. But that is the first turn of order. What do you do?
Okay. If that's the case, I am going to pop. I'm going to use Touch of Oblivion.
Touch of Oblivion. All right, that's another rouse for that one, right?
Yep. Following rouse, the vampire grips the victim, required strength plus brawl roll. If the victim is trying to avoid the vampire, the victim suffers 2 aggravated damage as well as crippling injury.
All right.
Now, here's the thing.
He's already grappled.
Can I use Arms of Amon at that point for Touch of Oblivion? Can I use Touch of Oblivion through Arms of Amon?
Rules is written. Let's look at that actually and see what that says, because it doesn't.
Page 294.
294.
I'm pretty sure not, but I've been tricked before.
Let's look at the rules as written. Channels through their fight.
Oh, because this is a physical attack. Arms of Amon is a physical attack.
It counts as a physical attack with Arms of Amon, but it does not actually course, like, the arms are, if I remember, they're kind of made up of shadow.
Yep.
And so...
Well, void stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Your Vitae does not course through them. You have to touch the victim.
Alright. If that's the case, I am going to scrap that. And I am going to use my Arms of Amon. Now, to literally grab one of these individuals and hurl them into the other.
Okay. Then, with your Arms of Amon, that would be a grapple attack roll.
So I got a +1. Got it.
And the security person in the arms is going to attempt to break free using Strength Brawl. And if they win, you cannot toss them.
3-3, I win.
Yep. So
And
you are
that's still going to be...
them. Yep.
Go ahead.
You are able to check them, so you deal superficial damage to them.
I deal 1 superficial damage in this regard, but I believe it hits 2 targets.
Yes. The other target is going to try and dodge out of the way, but they will take a penalty to their shot if they take one. Nope.
Oh, no.
Nope, that person just full-on failed getting out of the way, so that's 3 superficial damage. Based on your arms attack, so... yeah. The security officers... the two that have attempted to dodge are going to... the one guy who's in the arms doesn't have his weapon out, but the guy who does is going to make a firearms attack on you.
Alright.
He is at a penalty -1 because he took an action already.
And I'm in shadow, so I'm in cover, I'm assuming?
In shadow does not count as cover.
Mm.
It would count as cover if you had something physically blocking you.
Okay, so even in the dark, he can still end up shooting that without penalty. Alright. Just lets me know the rules we're playing under.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Since they are
Fine,
being attacked, he's going to use composure.
And I'm at -2 because...
Wow. What the hell, my dude?
Well, that's a hunger bit, so I am moving unnaturally quick in the dark.
Oh yeah, you are. It's almost as if you seem to kind of meld with the shadow as you're moving out of the way of this bullet coming at you. Seems like this guy is like kind of terrified that you're able to move that quick or even know what's coming at this, because it's not a very far distance, but it's definitely impaired vision on both your parts. So there's like that's why I'm not ruling it as a penalty at all, because it would be the same dice pool either way. And so guy number 2 is going to take a shot. You can dodge at a -1.
Isn't he already knocked down?
I guess
One guy grabbed prone into the other, and then the
yeah.
third guy took the shot, right?
Yeah, that guy has to get up from prone. Never mind.
No, I'm just double checking. Like, if I miss something, please let me know.
No, you're fine. The guy who was up shot at you. The guy who's down does have to kind of regain composure in that. So, there's that. So Benji does not have the upper hand on Dren yet, so he's going to do another strength athletics to try and get the upper hand on him. Try and subdue him. Oh, Benji, you're not doing very good at all.
He can spend some willpower, Benji, if you need to.
It's
We can't afford to fuck this up now.
So let's do... Tren does a dexterity athletics. Try and get away. Now Benji finally gets the upper hand on him and has him kind of hoist him up off the ground, kind of in a bit of a headlock now. And so he has a hold of him and starts to move towards the van with him. What do you do?
Well, no witnesses. So, we're in an underground parking, or we are on a high-rise?
It's above
parking.
ground.
Above ground?
Above ground, flat.
Okay.
It's not a parking garage. It's just a flat parking lot.
All right. If that's the case, this one individual's wounded, right?
There's 2 individuals who are wounded.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab the most wounded one, and I'm gonna slam him into the individual who is currently trying to shoot at us.
Okay. So go ahead and make that as your arms attack.
And grappling technically, so 3. That'll work.
The one guy's already grappled, so he's just getting chucked. He's gonna try and reduce damage on himself. He's still attempting to break free. Nope, he's not breaking free, so he's taking 2 points of superficial damage. That guy.
You down?
The one in the arms is impaired. And against the guy who was getting chucked at, the guy who getting chucked at the guy who fired, so that guy is going to try and attempt to dodge. But he was able to successfully get out of the way.
I'm gonna willpower it.
Okay.
No, he does not.
Okay.
Meets and beats.
That guy takes 1 point of superficial damage as the one guy who's impaired now goes careening into him. And so that's where we're at right now. We have one guy who's superficially impaired, one who is injured quite a bit, and another who is barely taken anything. So.
Okay. And they shut up. Benji, we don't have time. Finish him now.
What? Sorry, he was saying that to Benji?
I am saying that to Benji now. We can't stay here. We can't drag him. Do it now.
Alright. What is Benji going to do? Let's see. Benji has had a stake on him for pretty much this whole time. I don't think he has any other weapons on him right now, though. Yeah, he just has a stake. So he's going to stake Dren. And so that's not too terribly hard. Dren is not a very physically capable person, so staking him is not going to be hard. So Benji just shoves a stake into Dren this turn.
Alright. I am going to... Okay, so one of them's crippled, one of them is injured, right?
Yeah, one's impaired, two of them are injured. One more than the other.
I'm going to take the impaired one.
That's the one you have in your arms right now.
I'm going to use him to beat the most damaged one possible. And I'm going to take them both out together.
Okay. Yeah, do the arms roll.
Oh shit, I am definitely... Okay, 3 I can handle.
Let's see, he's still trying.
Impaired's -2.
Yep, he's still trying to break free, but he's impaired now.
Okay. And that's another 2.
That's another 2 on him. He's on aggravated damage, so you're throwing him into the other injured individual?
Yep.
Okay. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that's prone. Okay. Because he was going to get up this turn. He's going to try to dodge out of the way, but he's going to take a penalty for being prone.
Fantastic.
Nope. So he also takes 2 more superficial. He is also impaired now.
Fantastic. I am going to rush the third one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have his undivided attention, right?
Yep.
I'm going to use Mesmerize.
Mesmerize. Alright.
Yep.
Then roll the Dominate at a -1, since this is the same turn.
Oh, if it's the same... Well, technically, no, I've just been manipulating the eyes, but... yeah, let's give it a shot. Oh god.
Yeah, because this is the second target in the same turn, because he did an arms attack.
Fuck. I can't get his attention, unless he rolls very badly.
What's the defense for Mesmerize?
Defense for Mesmerize... I think I'd have this memorized by now, but apparently not. I don't use powers that frequently.
No, not very often.
I think John has used more powers than Urien has. Think about it. Double check here. Mesmerize is intelligence plus resolve. Well, he can't be too tough.
Yeah, he's not terribly tough.
Please, just one success. Just one success.
Nope.
Yes! Okay. Mesmerize. Go into his security room and destroy all the evidence that says we were here.
And that's
I want him to walk in and destroy all the footage that we're here. He can try and explain what he saw, but no one's going to believe him.
Alright, so the guy who is not impaired, who's barely injured, begins to walk away, and you would assume towards the security office to destroy the footage from this parking lot.
I grab hold of the 2 security guards that are impaired. I'll raise potence if I gotta. I'm gonna drag them into the van with us.
Alright. Just give me a strength athletics just to see.
Okay, I'm gonna rouse for potence.
Okay. You still get hungrier.
I'm hungry. That's fine. But I am now at potence, so strength athletics. +2. Okay, 4 successes.
Yeah, not a problem. They're weighty, but they're more muscle than anything else, and so they're fairly small. They're not cumbersome at all.
Imagine dying from internal bleeding at this point.
Yeah, the one guy is fairly hard, beaten fairly quick, fairly a lot.
Alright. I'm gonna toss both of them into the van along with their currently staked employer. Tell Benji to get behind in the wheel, and I'm gonna enjoy my fill. Save the other one for Benji.
Okay. Benji gets behind the wheel and starts to drive off with the van.
Yeah. I'm going to purposely consume this. I'm going to consume this individual, and I'm going to make sure that Dren watches. I specifically turned Dren's head to the side so he can watch me do this.
Alright.
And I'm going to feed fully.
Taking that much hunger, you are going to take 3 stains.
Yeah. Alright.
And where do you go after that?
I'm going to instruct Benji to drive us out. I know a place. The only people driving back are going to be me and Benji. Our little secret. Oh, Dren. You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. Well, guess it's only appropriate that the Anarchs get their justice.
And you're sure he's Cam, right?
Oh yeah. Can't you smell it? Yeah. Yeah. How else do you think they're getting into the city? Use your head, Benji. It's too perfect, isn't it? They're inside near Jameson's. Inside Batista's. Kinda looks at Benji with a little bit of suspicion. Are they in Delgado's? You gotta be sure. No one's immune.
I don't like
the sons of bitches, Benji. Every last one of them.
Yeah, I know that. I know they're fucking horrible. I don't like having to kill this other guy, though. He was just doing his job.
Doing his job for the fucking cam. None of them are immune. How do you think the cam works, kid?
I don't really. Not a lot.
You stick with me, and I'll end up showing you how to hunt them down.
We going after Hugh next?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's about time you and Hugh met.
Perfect. And I think that is where we are going to end tonight's session. Good job, everybody.
Hey!
Yay!
Hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
John got to smash some heads.
He did. Benji
He
gets
ain't
a
finished
smash.
yet. Making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice. This Lasombra's coming to your town.
Ah, yes. Delightful. Wonderful. First off, we have some stains to resolve, Mr. Bell.
Sucks. I kind of agree with Benji, truthfully. Kind of sucks. I didn't want it to end this way. You should have just gotten the fucking van. Nah. Now this shit had to happen.
Had to make it difficult.
Bunch of fucking kind that died early. Probably died believing they were protecting country or something. Serving as the first line of defense in a fucking airport. This is how they die, as a fucking missing persons. No one will know.
For Benji, he would also take 3 stains, but he reduces it to 1 based on his convictions. So I'm gonna roll remorse for Benji.
Yeah. And good Benji.
Sucks. Fucking dick. Let's quickly roll for resonance.
6 and 6.
Alright. Where's that table? I don't have that table pulled up. But and those are for Benji. Once we get the table pulled up, we can apply that, though.
Oh, just pass the page. Alright, so plus life, resonance, 6 is fleeting and melancholic.
Is it the same for Benji as well?
It would be caloric and fleeting.
Alright, perfect. Well, we don't have stains for Velda, so that's something we don't have to worry about for her.
I even checked her tenants to make sure. But no, she's okay.
No, she's okay. She good. She had nothing to do with what was going on with Benji and John, so...
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but she knew they were gonna go. She knew what they were gonna go do and didn't really stop them, which is why I was just double checking it.
You didn't necessarily know that they were gonna go attack Dren, really.
She had a pretty good idea.
John is pretty forward in that regard. You know, he says, "This is the
Yeah.
problem. I'm gonna deal with it."
I'm gonna deal with it. We know how John deals with problems.
She had a pretty good idea that, John was gonna go take care of things. An unfortunate accident.
Yeah, I think Velda really shouldn't take a single stain for that unless you have a way to reduce it.
For
the combination of the two murders, really.
Struggle for justice is an ongoing necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. Freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend, to willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forgo one's own.
I don't think this had anything to do with justice.
Oh, if he's working for the Camarilla. It is justice.
I'm gonna say based on some meta knowledge, no.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
So.
Then. Yeah.
Then roll me a remorse.
Okay. So I'm rolling 3.
It's the number of blank spaces you have between your stains and your humanity. Yep. John does what John has to do. Whatever comes back from that is going to suck.
Yeah.
Why'd you let him go? Why'd you let him go? Why'd you let him go and do that?
I didn't know how to stop him.
Was it really necessary for him to go out and potentially, as far as you know, kill Dren? Or hurt him at least? Or any people that get involved?
Shit.
Shit, indeed. But that concludes that. Any recovered willpower?
No, I didn't get Velda to check out the hospital. So.
Sad.
Yet.
Big oof. Oh well. Then, next let's go on to experience. 1 for each of you for playing.
Yee.
Yeah. You can give that to either John or Urien. Derek.
I'll hand that to John.
Okay. So, we do experience similarly to the way that Derek does Detroit, in that we have categories that our players vote on to see who gets additional bonus experience. So, who moved plot?
I think we both did. Honestly.
I'll roll it off.
You want to do a roll off?
Hi, Clan, hi.
Hi, Clan, hi.
Hey, you did it.
Yeah.
Hey.
You both get it. You both moved some significant plot, and the dice have rewarded you as such.
Hey.
Good.
Who had the best scene?
John.
I would argue Velda, but I'll take it just because our luck isn't gonna be that good.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. You can always push
Stop
it.
Stop tempting me, you damn slot machine.
I genuinely really loved seeing John beat the head of the 3 guards in, and his way of handling everything with Dren.
Delightful. Delightful. Best line.
Bitch. Bitch. Bitch.
Raging bitch.
Who did that?
Is
No.
that Velda calling herself a raging bitch?
Yes. But it was like, right, raging bitch, you damn right. I know what I am.
It's like, you can call me that if you want.
Delightful. Delightful.
I'll take it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What did we think?
I think I'm looking forward to the aftermath of all this shit.
My God, so much shit hitting the fan.
You're not wrong.
So much of it.
What do you think is going on here?
I have no idea.
You haven't even really done a whole lot of researching into that now, have you? You're just playing catch up to try and deal with the aftermath. How do you get ahead?
Gotta catch up before you can get ahead. Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
I want to know what's going on with these 2 Ventru, because they seem so out of the blue. Like, they don't seem important, but when you mention the location of their particular domain, I feel like that's where the other group of Camarilla might be hanging out.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, the cam does.
I mean, the cam does.
But that's just my own personal thoughts on it. And Velda's thinking in the same way, because there's just nothing special about those Ventru except for where they are.
Sometimes that's the important part. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some people in the chat here, so let's go ahead and get some chat votes for who gets a bonus experience thrown into the chat, as far as John or Velda today. Or if you want to toss your hat in for Urien, go ahead and do that too. But he contributed in one scene. But yeah, I look forward to what you guys think is going on here and what more could possibly go wrong.
I just like how Urien's got another little thin blood to add to his collection.
He's persuasive.
He is.
He is.
He listens very intently to what somebody has to say and
That's important.
tries to work that angle.
Yep. Because that's how you win somebody over. High lethality. Lethality is voting for Velda. He's been hanging out in the chat since he woke up or whatever.
Yeah.
Since he was feeling sick today, he didn't get to come out and play as Amber. Oh well. Womp womp.
Could have used Amber. Could have used her a lot.
I'm sorry, lethality. It's okay. We love you still.
He was actually asleep beside me for like over half the session.
That's fair.
So now I have a cat instead.
Are there any more votes from the chat? We'll give it another couple of minutes. But yeah, it's a clusterfuck, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
It's such a clusterfuck.
It's a good one, though, right? Is it a good one?
Right.
Is it intriguing? Is it compelling?
Yes. I feel like there's a lot of framing going on.
Framing for what?
That's the question.
Yes, it is. I'm asking you. I'm asking you what your thoughts are.
Oh, honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of.
What do you think would happen?
There's a lot of indication that both of the barons that are still around are both targets and targeting. And it's a mess.
Yep.
And I'm looking at it and I'm going, There's indication that Batista might be doing some shady shit, which isn't that much of a surprise. And Jameson reckons he didn't have any part in it. So I don't know.
Well, I don't think we're getting to any more votes here. So Velda, you get that bonus experience from
There you
the
go.
lovely lethality complex.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah,
Much love.
thank y'all so much for watching, and we will be back next week with more San Antonio by Night, hopefully with a better chair. And and as a result of having sat in this chair for now almost 4 hours, I may be canceling drawing stream this week. But because I don't think I could sit for that long and not have a fit. But yeah, we will be back next week for sure with more San Antonio by Night. In the meantime, there is the YouTube playlist that is !SABN that you can look at watch all the VODs leading up to today. Tonight's VOD will be going up tomorrow night. So yeah, be sure to check that out because we got some real random shit going on right now. And it's enjoyable and it's fun.
Yes.
But yes, thank you all so much for watching. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.